Let's go to Nancy Pelosi, speaking of disgusting and
Ugh.
embarrassing, who was at the Munich Security Conference over the weekend and spoke with DW News. And here she is denying that there is a connection between selling and giving Israel more weapons and the atrocities that we see playing out on the ground in Gaza. She's effectively washing her hands of any responsibility. Take a look.
Isn't the danger for the US that if you don't like what Israel is doing, and the president has made it clear that some of what Israel is doing he doesn't like,
That's right.
and you go on supplying them with hardware to do those things, you own this operation every bit as much as they do, don't you?
No, we don't. We don't. We have always supported Israel as our national security friend, largely because it was in our interest to do so. Largely because it was in to do so. We had shared values that only democracy in the region. The behavior of Netanyahu is, in my view, inexcusable in terms of how it has affected the collateral damage to children and families and the rest. But nobody can take away the right of any country to defend itself that has been brutally attacked in that way.
28,000 Palestinian lives is more than self-defense, isn't it? It's more than self-defense.
Well, their goal, and I just saw President Herzog, for whom I have enormous respect, and said, "How are things?" And he basically said, "We just have a couple more steps, and then we'll be through this." So that sounded optimistic to me, that they think that it is in reach to rid Gaza of Hamas.
Brooke, does that sound optimistic to you that we only have a couple more steps and then we'll be through this? I'm sorry, just a quick follow-up. On what? On what's the goal, the ultimate goal?
So, right, the final solution, just a few more steps, Nance. Do you think it was Chardonnay drunk, or is she more of a gin drunk this time around?
Oh, definitely gin. Feeling
Oh, she was in Munich? Wait,
Yeah.
could have been a hearty Pilsner.
God damn it. Again, my voice will not allow me to get as angry as I am when I watch that clip. I want to remind everyone that Isaac Herzog, the president of Israel, is also the guy who said that this idea of innocent civilians in Gaza doesn't exist. That was early. That was like weeks after the initial attack, right? Was get it out of your head that there's a difference between Hamas and civilians.
Right.
So when she says that the goal is getting rid of Hamas from Gaza, what Israeli leadership says and knows, and the IDF knows, is it's getting rid of Palestinians in Gaza.
Right.
Getting rid of their infrastructure, getting rid of their water sources, getting rid of their hospitals, getting rid of their schools, getting rid of their universities, getting rid of their refugee camps, getting rid of them, getting rid of everything. Like, so I swear to God, I swear to God, Brooke, because I'm like this close on a Trump Biden, I don't give up. You know what I mean? Like they are big. But when I see Nancy Pelosi in her goddamn lavender Manolo Blahniks, because you know they are, sitting there being like, well, and they're almost through it and they're almost, I'm like, I will never support these centrist Dems ever again. Like I'm so angry. Makes me so angry how out of touch they are. Brooke, 2/3 of Democrats believe in an immediate ceasefire.
Right.
What are we doing?
No, what we're unfortunately doing is doing the Democratic thing, which is actually questioning our leaders and holding them accountable, which the Republican Party never does. But you're saying like while we try to hold them accountable or decide not to, give them our votes anymore, that we do ultimately like harm all of our own lives by doing the right thing and by being like, but I am just like, whoa, like me since 2016 to where I am now with all of these people is, I feel I've had a radical departure, specifically in the last few months,
Yeah.
I also like, I think the thing too that I keep like when you were saying that Israel has just decimated any, where you're like, wait, Hamas is in, the library that holds, the traditions and of Palestine and their history. Hamas was inside that, old dusty book,
Right.
everyone
Hamas
keeps
was inside a woman's underwear drawer.
right. And just the idea too that
along with conveniently Mein Kampf.
right. But
nothing
if
gets me in the mood.
Then a passage from Mein Kampf.
But yeah, exactly. You put it in your lingerie drawer. And Valentine's Day rolls around anyway.
Well, I'm just saying like that, and I know we got to get to our guest and a few other headlines, but like if you really truly believe a land is yours and that it is like your inherited birthright, and why would you treat it that way? Why would you treat a land that you think is so inherently yours like garbage and burn down people's olive tree farms, and raise the land to the ground because you love your homeland supposedly so much? It's
yeah, even worse, because it's God who gave it to you. Like, would you really do this to God's land?
I don't know.
Yeah. Quickly, Pelosi did continue and sort of echoed again her disdain for protesters who believe in ending genocide.
I don't hear a lot of the people, and they're outside my house almost every day, but nobody cares about that. And I don't mean to make that a big thing, but I just hear them saying, free the hostages. I don't hear any of them saying Hamas is a terrorist organization. I hear them praising Hamas. I hear them ignoring the hostages. So there's a lot of, shall we say, behavior we all have to address here.
Yeah, there's behavior. I think it's really important to tone police some of the protesters. What's funny about this is that it's almost like there aren't enough protesters outside of Nancy Pelosi's home if she isn't hearing them say that they don't praise Hamas, hearing them say you should save hostages' lives, hearing them say you should create an immediate ceasefire so you can do exactly that. So I think they should keep going. In fact, one of the things that they did, these protesters outside of Nancy Pelosi's home, was dump a whole lot of horse manure outside of it. Now, with honestly, like kind of a very thoughtful gesture, putting it on a tarp, or obviously you got to bring it in a certain way. But now I just want to, there's an image of someone with a sign that says Nancy Pelosi, enough with this shit. I just want to praise the people who did this. This is not only a beautiful direct action, but let me tell you right now, Nancy Pelosi lives on a hill in Pac Heights, Pacific Heights for specific whites. We all know it. And it's not easy to get manure up a hill, okay? I mean, I'm just assuming they drove it, but either way, not easy to get manure up a hill. But there it is, so beautiful. And I can only remember, like, Nancy Pelosi's more mad at pro-Palestinian protesters than she was at the dude that like entered her home and hit her husband with a hammer and put him in the hospital. Like, this is where we're at with these folks. Like, they're more mad at like left-wingers who want peace than right-wingers who want you dead. Just wild. But yeah, once again, Nancy Pelosi.
Symbolism too, that shit rolls downhill, so.
Exactly. What's going on, Frantifa? If you haven't already, subscribe to this channel right now. Hit that button. And also, you can become a patron and support the show every single week. Get access to bonus episodes and exclusive merchandise. Patreon.com/Bitchuation Room. Do it.